Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about Stable Diffusion 3.5, an amazing AI model for creating images. I'll walk you through an advanced workflow, so stay tuned if you are looking to generate high-end details refined image with SD3.5. So, Stable Diffusion 3.5 takes this process to the next level with some cool new features. There are three different versions of this model: large, large turbo, and medium. So if you want super high quality images, go for large. If you need something quicker, then you can go for large turbo. That is your best bet. And if you are working with a standard computer, medium will give you solid results. So you can pick the one that fits your needs the best. Now let's understand how it works. So when you give Stable Diffusion a description, it starts from random noise and gradually refines the image. This process is called diffusion. What's unique about Stable Diffusion 3.5 is that it uses rectified flow transformers. Think of this as taking the shortest, most direct path from noise to a final image. This means it can generate images faster and in fewer steps, and you can get awesome results quickly. I'll show you a comparison. So let's talk about what makes Stable Diffusion 3.5 really stand out. So there are 2 points for the comparison of Stable Diffusion 3.5. There is prompt adherence and aesthetic quality. So prompt adherence means how well the AI sticks to what you ask for. For example, if you request a sunset over the ocean, it checks how accurately the model follows the request. And the another point is aesthetic quality. That's how good the final image looks. Even if it doesn't match the prompt, it's all about beauty and style. Here is a cool detail. Stable Diffusion 3.5 Large scores higher than its competitors in both prompt adherence and aesthetic quality. However, Flux.dev 12b, here you can see this one, it does slightly better in aesthetic quality. You can see the graph, meaning it might create more artistic images at times. But overall, Stable Diffusion 3.5 Large, this one, you can see here, it balances both accuracy and beauty. If you don't have a high-end computer, so don't worry. Stable Diffusion 3.5 is designed to run smoothly on regular systems. So you don't need high-end hardware to use it. Whether you are a professional or just having fun with AI images, this tool has got you covered. Moving forward, if we talk about Flux models, especially Flux.1 Dev 12b, it creates gorgeous images as I told you earlier, but Stable Diffusion 3.5 Large is better overall. It sticks to your instructions more closely and creates great looking results, as you can see here in the graph. This makes it an awesome choice for anyone who wants images that are both accurate and visually stunning. One of the coolest things about Stable Diffusion 3.5 is how flexible it is. You can change the style of the image, adjust colors, or even tweak objects. Whether you want a cartoon style or a super realistic photo, this model can do it all. So that's a quick rundown of Stable Diffusion 3.5. It's fast, powerful, and super easy to use. Stay tuned as I walk you through an advanced workflow in the rest of this video. Once you open your ComfyUI, you have you have to load your workflow. You'll see we have divided the workflow into three groups. As I told you earlier, SD3.5 Refine, SD3.5 Large, and the third one is SD3.5 Turbo. which is 4 steps. But there is an important node above these groups called the fast group bypasser. As you can see in the screen, this node lets you enable or disable any of the groups. That means you can work with all 3 groups at once or turn off the ones you don't want to use. This gives you a lot of flexibility depending on which model you want to focus on. Now, coming to comparing these 3 models, each of these groups has its strength. So, let's break it down. The first group, SD3.5 Refine, is the enhanced version of SD3.5 Large. The second group, SD3.5 Large, runs without the refined enhancement. And if we talk about the third group, so SD3.5 Turbo is all about speed and can generate images in just 4 steps. That will make your work easy. In this video, we will be comparing the results of these 3 models side by side. You will get to see how the image quality stacks up across all of them. Before we proceed further, you will need to download the models. You can get them directly from ComfyUI The links to both Stable Diffusion 3.5 Large and Stable Diffusion to 3.5 Large Turbo are available here. Once you have them, save the files in your ComfyUI model checkpoint folder. Additionally, for the text encoder, you'll need to download 3 models and save them in the model clip folder in ComfyUI. Now let's talk about the difference. Here is something important to note. SD3.5 Large takes around 30 to 40 steps to generate an image, while SD3.5 Large Turbo only needs 4 steps, which saves a lot of time, making it the fastest of the two. However, if you are after image quality, the large model delivers better results because it has more time to refine the image. For this workflow, we will be using 32 steps to create images with the SD3.5 large model. But you can go anywhere between 30 to 50 steps depending on your preference. Here is a quick breakdown of the best settings to use. For SD3.5 large, use 32 steps. You can go from 30 to 50 as I told you earlier. I am using 32 steps. For CFG, set between 4 and 10 for realistic images. Go for 4 to 6 and for illustrations, go for 7 to 10. For sampler, use Euler for faster generation, but for the best quality, use DPM++2M. For scheduler, the best option is SGM Uniform as it consistently gives the best results. If I talk about SD3.5 Turbo, so go for 4 steps, which is super fast. For CFG, set to 1 for quick generation. Sampler, again, Euler is great for speed, but DPM++2M is better for quality. Scheduler, stick with SGM Uniform for the best performance. Now coming to negative node. For the negative node, we are using the zero out condition to handle unwanted artifacts.
Now let's start generating the AI images using SD3.5. We tested different style and best settings to get the best results. Here is the text prompt: a stunning teenage Swiss girl with flawless modern-like fashion features, etc. In triple clip loader, we will select SD3.5, text encode clip GINT5XXL. We will use 3 models: SD3.5 Large, SD3.5 Large Turbo, which will make SD3.5 Refine images. I hope you are enjoying this video. And here is the result we have got as you can compare these 3. Firstly, with SD3.5 Large Turbo, you will notice it is the fastest option, which is great for saving time. However, The result can look slightly unnatural with a bit of plastic-like effect, typical of AI images. In comparison, SD3.5 Large produces a more natural and detailed image. Meanwhile, the refined model, though a longer process, but it delivers an outstanding result. It captures high-end details and looks the more realistic, making it the best choice for achieving total live detail and natural appearance. Let's dive deeper into the details, exploring the specific settings for each style and the optimal number of steps needed to achieve high detail images using SD 3.5. Firstly, try to generate anime style. This is the first example. So, the rule for generating anime or illustration or drawing images is you need high CFG, which is 7 to 10, and for realistic it should be 2 to 5. Here is my another text prompt to generate anime image. Right. So the rule is we will use 7 to 10 CFG. So let's start generating the result. Now I have used 50 steps and CFG is 10 in refined group, while in large group CFG is 10 and steps are 50. Let's generate. Finally, the result has come out. Here you can see the turbo image result with just 4 steps, and it's looking quite good and realistic with the CFG of now. In the refined group, the initial result wasn't as impressive. So I experimented with different settings with 30 steps and a CFG of 8. The result was improved, though some color issue remained. Trying the highest CFG of 10 with 32 steps helped, but the color problem was still present. To improve results and fix the color issue, I adjusted the CFG to 1 in the first case sampler of the refined group. If you want to generate Illustrator style art, set the first case sampler CFG between 3 to 7. For the second case sampler, use a CFG of 7 and 50 steps to achieve high-end detail. Here, the results demonstrate significant improvement in quality and detail, providing a reliable method to fix any issues you might encounter during the image generation process. This is how you can generate the Illustrator image using SD 3.5. Now, let's work on creating a realistic image and explore the optimal settings for generating one. Here's the prompt I did use. To achieve a realistic image, remember to keep the CFG below 5. I initially set it to 4 with 30 steps. But unfortunately, the refined version fell short in quality. On the other hand, both the turbo and large models delivered impressive results, showcasing their strengths in generating more lifelike images. Now let's experiment to achieve the best results with SD 3.5 Large. As I have disabled other two groups and will only work on this group. By using 50 steps and CFGs 4. We generated a good looking realistic image. Now let's adjust it to 40 steps and the CFG will be set to 3 to enhance the facial details. And you can see how impressive the image is looking and the level of details it plays. So, this was all about experimenting with CFG and steps. By adjusting these settings, you can achieve a variety of different results. You can try your own. Now let's try to get the best results from refine function. Let's start with the default settings of 32 steps and a CFG of 5. While this combination shows some improvement over previous attempts, it still doesn't quite match the quality of SD3.5 Large. Now it's time to tweak the settings again. The CFG of 4 didn't deliver the best results, but increasing the steps to 50 allowed for better refinement. After making this adjustment, we achieved a remarkable result. This image now looks incredibly realistic, showcasing impressive details like the bookshelf in the book background, the intricacies of the eyes and skin, and the soft shadows cast by the window. Now let's apply these settings in SD3.5 Large. The generated image is truly impressive, showcasing stunning details in the eyes and skin. You can achieve different results between the refine and SD3.5 large models. Choose the one that best suits your preferences. Now, moving forward, let's experiment with another prompt using the same steps and CFG settings. Initially, the image didn't turn out well due to the shadows on the face. However, after changing the prompt to view at camera, the results improved significantly. Just take a look at the details. You can clearly compare both images. Now, let's try another image, that is Halloween image. To enhance realism, we used CFG of 4. The two images generated clearly show that the refined version has added more details, but the non-refined version still holds its own. Now, let's try using 40 steps while being careful not to over-refine. The results are impressive. If you have learned how to generate images with SD3.5 using the best setting, here is the prompt we used to take a look at how effectively the image was generated. It looks remarkably lifelike. The details in the refined version are striking and the background appears much more authentic when compared to SD 3.5 large. This is how you can create a realistic image. Now, before wrapping up this learning session, we'll discuss about one more node, and that is SD 3.5 negative. Bypass all other nodes connected to the negative prompt and enable the SD3 negative prompt. Add Illustrator to the negative prompt and set the strength to 0.1 to prevent the generation of a complete Illustrator style image or a fully realistic one. Here we are featuring an anime character set in the real world. For this, we used the CHG of 2 and 40 steps. As you can see, the boy appears quite lifelike, while the girl is depicted in a 3D anime style. This demonstrates how you can effectively use this node. This is how you can utilize SD3.5 to generate images. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, share and subscribe for more content like this. Have fun and enjoy your learning journey.